Oh, thanks for your time. Wow. Very nice meeting you. Harun, yes, sir. Brother, how do you live in Lola, Stockton?
I live in Marysville.
Oh, Marysville, oh wow.
Yeah, but Cash is my brother-in-law and my cousin.
My brother has a shop out there in New York City.
She was, Shaquille mentioned that to me. Which one is it? Because I was going to be yes. It's not the one for us. There's just several of them. Yes, your brother.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ما بعد. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: السخي قريب من الله قريب من الجنة قريب من الناس بعيد من النار، والبخيل بعيد من الله بعيد من الجنة بعيد من الناس قريب من النار، ولجاهل سخي أحب إلى الله من عابد بخيل. وكما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. As a brief recap from yesterday's hadith, it is narrated by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu anhu that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "As-sakhiyyu qareebun min Allah." A generous person is close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we discovered why. Because this person is generous in Islam. What that means is that this person does not hold back when it comes to fulfilling the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the shape and form of giving zakat, looking after your loved ones, etc. قريب من الجنة. So when you are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are close to paradise, you are close to Jannah. قريب من الناس. You are very close to the people. People will love you. Naturally, people love generous people. بعيد من النار. When you are close to Allah, you are far away from Jahannam. Some scholars have determined that Jannah is the pleasure of Allah. So when you are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you are in the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah is pleased with you. And there is no place for a person in Jahannam with who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is pleased with. So qareeb min al-jannah. A generous person is close to paradise. Qareeb min al-nas. People love generous people. Ba'id min al-nar. Far away from the fire of Jahannam. On the flip side, wal-bakhilu ba'id min Allah ba'id min al-jannah. A stingy person is far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? After that, this person does not fulfill the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to giving zakat, charity, obligatory charity, zakat, etc. Ba'id min Allah, and then ba'id min al-jannah. Just because this person is not fulfilling the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this person is also far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, far away from Jannah. If a person is not fulfilling the responsibility of zakat, then what is the point? This person is not going to be able to enter Jannah. Qareeb min al-nar. When you're not close to Jannah, you are closer to the displeasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which is understood to be as Jahannam. وَلَجَاهِدٌ سَخِيٌّ أَحَبُّ إِلَى اللَّهِ مِنْ عَابِدٍ بَخِيلٍ. An unlettered, generous person is more beloved to Allah than an educated, stingy person. Zayn, sit over here. Ayan, sit over here. Next hadith. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: إياكم والفحش والتفحش فإن الله لا يحب الفاحش المتفحش، وإياكم والظلم فإنه هو الظلمات يوم القيامة، وإياكم والشح فإنه دعا من كان قبلكم فسفكوا دماءهم، ودعا من كان قبلكم فقطعوا أرحامهم، ودعا من كان قبلكم فاستحلوا حرماتهم. It is narrated by Abu Hurairah radiyallahu ta'ala anhu that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, إِيَّاكُمْ وَالْفَحْشِ. Be aware of immodesty. Stay away from immodesty. وَالتَّفَحُّشِ. And to be in the company of immodest people. So what does immodesty mean? Possibly in your mother tongue, immodesty could be called behayai, right? Behayai, or someone who is behaya is a person who is immodest. So, who is an immodest person? A person that does not keep in mind decency. So, for example, a person who does not cover himself or herself properly, a person who carries out certain sins, certain shortcomings, which are not meant to be publicized, like alcohol in the public or doing something haram open in the public. فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْفَاحِشَ الْمُتَفَحِّشِ. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not love people that are immodest. So, part of good character that you and I need to implement in our lives and we need to work towards is to be modest. To be modest in our speech, to be modest in our clothing, to be modest in the way we carry ourselves. Everything has to be done with modesty. Even when Allah blesses you with enough wealth to spend that wealth with modesty, right? Your lifestyle to be modest, right? Don't be that person that strives to live a glamorous and this kind of life of always having high expectations and to fit a certain category of people. Just be yourself and be modest, right? Understand, this will come into this should be discussed under financial literacy, etc. Is understand where your money is being spent and is it worth spending that money. For example, a lot of youth, aka sneakerheads. Are you guys with me? Sneakerheads, right? People are into Jordans, right? Air Force Ones and all this crazy stuff. And every time Nike drops a pair of Jordans, now that youngster has to go camp outside of Sheiks or one of these like Foot Lockers stores and camp out there overnight just to get, and then you're spending $300-400 on a pair of shoes, right? Or spending $1,500 on pairs of shoes. So that's not modesty, right? You buy quality stuff. You buy quality stuff because this one wise man said, cheap things end up costing more money. Right? Cheap things end up costing more money. It is said, "Sasti cheez महंगी पड़ती है." So live a modest life. Understand? Modesty is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves. Live a humble life. Right? Live a good life. Right? But there's no need to be extravagant and be immodest in everything that you do. وَإِيَّاكُمْ وَالظُّلْمَ, and refrain from oppression. Why? فَإِنَّهُ هُوَ الظُّلُمَاتُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. Oppression. Don't be an oppressor in this world. Don't live your life as a zalim. Why? On the day of judgment, الظلم ظلمات يوم القيامة. That whatever type of oppression a person has in one's life, on the day of judgment, it will lead to darkness. الظلم, oppression, ظلمات, refers to darknesses. So there will be a lot of pain and a lot of consequences a person will have to face because of oppression. And here's one thing that a lot of us may not understand, and this is why you come here to learn, is that when it comes to fulfilling the rights of people or fulfilling the rights of others, there are two types of rights. One is things that you are expected to do by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, praying 5 times a day, giving zakat, fasting in the month of Ramadan, counting down the 5 pillars of Islam, etc. But then there are a set of things that you are expected to do when it comes to fulfilling the rights of other people. So, when we talk about oppression, be sure that you never put yourself in a situation where you are oppressing someone else. You are not carrying out zulm against anyone or anything or any living being. So the definition of zulm technically means, like basically what zulm is, وَضْعُ الشَّيْءِ فِي غَيْرِ مَحَلِّهِ, which means to utilize something against its desired purpose. So, you're supposed to treat your friends with respect. When you treat your friends with respect, you're fulfilling their rights. If you bully your classmates, or if you bully your cousins, right, or if you treat people with disrespect, hurting them, making them cry, pushing them over, etc., then all of these things are zulm. This is oppression. Why? Because you're not supposed to be doing these things in the first place. You're not supposed to be treating others with disrespect and hurting them and all. But what you're supposed to be doing is show them that you care, love them, respect them, look out for them, etc. But then if you're going to be treating them with disrespect and hurt them, that's literally zulm, that's oppression. Understand? So make sure that when it comes to the rights of other people, we never, ever oppress anyone. Hold on to the paper, it should not fly away again. You understand? Good. وَإِيَّاكُمْ وَالشُّحْ, and be careful about greed. Never become greedy. It's natural to love worldly possessions. Understand? All of us love money. All of us like and love fancy cars and homes and all of these things. Everyone loves different things. But what's frowned upon is greed. The desire of wanting more. It's natural to want more, but it's our responsibility that we control that. Because what we don't want is to develop a bad habit of greed, which is not what the Rasulullah ﷺ taught. Like, this is not what he taught us. It's for us to make sure we're not greedy. We don't develop so much greed in our lives that we begin to cheat other people in business. We cut off ties with family, and it gets to a point that because of our greed, we stop asking or caring about, is my income halal or not? Right? It's greed that leads a person to be okay with eating and consuming haram, etc. It's greed that pushes a person to cheat in business. It is greed that allows siblings to turn against each other when it comes to distributing inheritance, etc. So part of good character is to be a generous person. Never ever develop so much greed that this greed turns you into a monster. If you don't keep yourself in check, greed could overpower you, and you will fail to recognize who the next person is. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, it is narrated by Abu Hurairah رضي الله تعالى عنه. This hadith is narrated in Bukhari. And Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم said, إياكم والظن, abstain from assumptions. Do not assume things. This is what the Quran tells us in Surah Al-Hujurat as well. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن. Oh, those of you that believe, refrain from assumptions. كثيرا من الظن, refrain from many assumptions. Why? إن بعض الظن إثم. Verily, some assumptions are evil, are incorrect. So logically speaking, if I'm making 10 assumptions of the next person, then I'm assuming this person is not praying 5 times salah. I'm assuming this person is doing this bad. I'm assuming this person is not doing this good, etc. Is there a guarantee that I'll be right in my assumptions? Yes or no? No. So logically speaking, when I assume something regarding someone else, I will make mistakes. So therefore, it's not worth assuming anything about anyone else, because you will make mistakes in that. So that's why it's worth not even making any kind of assumptions. In fact, our deen teaches us to make excuses for people. Part of good character is making excuses for people. So you may be asking, what does that mean? What that means is, when you see someone doing something wrong, and it may appear to you as if what they're doing is wrong, but make an excuse for that person. Say, you know what, this person, it seemed like that this is what this person was doing, but my Allah teaches me is to have a positive assumption of the next person. So therefore, it's impossible for that person to even do that. So, if we don't keep ourselves in check, we don't focus on our thoughts, and we allow our thoughts, our assumptions, and all of these things to just run wild, what's going to happen is we will begin to develop such habits that you will develop now in your life, in this phase of life, that you will live with until you leave this world. You know, the habits, whatever habits you develop now, whatever habits that you develop now, good or bad, are going to remain with you for the rest of your lives. So, if you are that person that just allows your mind to wander, and you're assuming negatively of the next person all the time, then you will live a miserable life. You will make other people's lives a misery, and there will be no positivity left in your life. But if you begin to live a positive life, and you make excuses for the next person, before you're like, you know what, this is what this person did, you will live a positive life, and then you will give off positive vibes, as they say. So what Rasulullah is saying is, refrain from assuming things. Refrain from assumption. So part of good character is not to assume ill of others, not to think bad of others. This is what good character also means. فَإِنَّ الظَّنَّ أَكْذَبُ الْحَدِيثِ. Because assuming negatively of the next person is the worst type of thing a person can do. وَلَا تَحَسَّسُوا وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا وَلَا تَنَافَسُوا. Do not spy on one another. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Hujurat as well. وَلَا تَجَسَّسُوا. Do not spy on one another. Don't stalk others. And here's something worth mentioning. It's worth mentioning a hadith to explain this hadith. Is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us, min husni islam al-mar'i tarkuhu ma la ya'ni. What this hadith means is, it is a good quality of a believer that this person leaves out everything that does not concern him or her. In other words, minding your own business. Minding your own business. Don't worry about what the next person is doing. Don't worry about how much income this person has, or what kind of car this person's dad drives. Don't worry about those things. If you learn to mind your own business, as I said to you yesterday, I gave some advice about life. I said, don't expect things from people, and you will live a peaceful life. Today's advice is, do not and do not spy on them. Yes, what I'm saying is, so today's advice you could take away is, do not learn how to mind your own business. Don't poke your nose into people's business. Learn to mind your own business, and you will live a simpler life. If you're constantly going to be worried about what what your cousins are doing, or what your aunt is doing, or what your neighbors are doing, or what everybody else in the world is doing, that will eat up your life. Why? Because all that time that you will be spending in pursuing those things, it's literally going to take your time away. It's counterproductive. It does not benefit you at all what the next person is doing. And quit trying to live like other people. Be content, be happy with what Allah has given you, and stop trying to live like the next person. You will always come across people that has something that you don't have, and if you're continuously going to complain about that, you will live a miserable life. So be content, be happy with what Allah has given you, mind your own business. This is one of the ingredients of living a peaceful life. If you don't take this advice, then you are going to make your own life a misery, because you will constantly be worried about, oh, this person went to this state for vacation. Like, just mind your own business. It's as simple as that. وَلَا تَنَافَسُوا وَلَا تَحَاسَدُوا. Do not compare yourself to others. Do not have jealousy. Do not have jealousy. Don't be jealous. We talked about this a few days ago. What is jealousy? Jealousy is you having a problem with Allah, of why you're basically saying to Allah. So let's say if person A is jealous of person B, what person A is essentially saying is, oh Allah, I have a problem with you because you gave this person this bounty and I don't have it. It's indirectly complaining to Allah. It's having a problem with Allah's system, of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses all of us with whatever that we have in our lives. Understand? So don't develop jealousy. If you develop jealousy, I told you the remedy: make dua for that person and say, oh Allah, bless this person with more. That's the remedy for jealousy. Jealousy is like a fire that eats up everything. You come across something that you don't have, someone else has, mashallah. Whatever Allah wants, make dua for the person. You know someone moves into a new house, you make dua for them. Oh Allah, bless them with a mansion. Someone bought a new car, you say, may Allah bless them with 10 more new cars. Be happy for people. Don't eat yourself on the inside and live a miserable life. No, it's not worth it. Life is too short to be worried about these things. You know what I mean? Just don't develop jealousy. وَلَا تَحَاسَدُوا. Don't be jealous of one another. وَلَا تَبَاغَضُوا. Do not have both. Do not develop hatred for one another. Part of good character is not hating people. Young man, stop that. So, part of good character is not hating people. What does that mean? What's the easier way? Love people. Love the creation of Allah. There's a difference between hating an action and hating the person. Big difference. You see someone that makes a mistake, you make excuses for them, but someone does something wrong to you. Don't hate the person, hate the action. And be brave enough to approach that person and say to him or her that this is what, with respect, pull them to the side. Don't put them on blast in public. It's counterproductive. Person A did something wrong to person B. Person B did not appreciate that. What's expected? What's the right thing to do? Person B should pull person A to the side so that it's now being publicized and broadcasted on WhatsApp and Instagram and Snapchat, like, oh, look at this guy, Yasser, doing, no. Use wisdom. When someone does something wrong to you, pull them to the side and clearly communicate without being emotional, be mature about it, and say, this is what you have done, and I do not appreciate that. Dislike the action, don't dislike the person. When you dislike a person, what that implies, what that basically means, is you're putting all the khair and the good this person has done to one side. Like, for example, this person could have done good things to you for 5 years, and this person makes one mistake, now all of a sudden it's found, oh, you done did it now. Oh, you done did it. What is that? Don't allow one mistake to change your perception of someone. Dislike that action. Don't dislike the person. Don't be a person that dislikes people. You will live a miserable life. If you have hatred for people, I'm telling you, life is too short to live full of hatred. Love people. This is what Rasulullah ﷺ did. This was one of the best things that he had. Think about this. 23 years of prophethood was enough to erase thousands of years of ignorance. Think about that. People are burning their daughters, they're mistreating their women, they're taking over each other's lands, they're killing each other over someone's camel, eating from someone's front yard. This literally happened, right? All of these things, ignorance, darkness, for thousands of years. But then 23 years of prophethood erased everything. What was that? The character of Rasulullah ﷺ. How he used to love people. We all heard of Abu Jahl, right? Raise your hands, Abu Jahl. You guys heard of Abu Jahl? Right? Enemy of Islam, right? Enemy of Rasulullah ﷺ. Did everything he possibly could to hurt Rasulullah ﷺ. Right? You heard of Abu Jahl? Now, let me tell you something that you may not know. Chances are you know, but I learned this much later on in life. It is recorded in books of Seerah that Rasulullah ﷺ visited Abu Jahl in secrecy around 100 times to give him da'wah. Like in the middle of the night, for example, Rasulullah ﷺ would walk over to Abu Jahl's house, knock on his door, and then Rasulullah ﷺ would say to him, my man, just say the kalima, man. Like, no one has to know. I'm trying to save you from eternal hellfire. This is how much love he had for Abu Jahl. What happens now? Someone does something wrong to me. I hate this person. I hate this person's entire generation, and I have a sour taste in my mouth. I'm salty about this for the rest of my life. Why? Because one person did this to me 15 years ago. A lot of you are not even 15 years old yet, but just wait to see how fast life goes by. So don't live your life full of hatred. Learn to love people. وَكُونُوا عِبَادَ اللَّهِ إِخْوَانًا كَمَا أَمَرَكُمْ. And live your lives as servants of Allah, like brothers and sisters. Live your lives as Muslims that are brothers and sisters. Why? Al-Muslimu akhul Muslim. Because a believer is a brother of a believer. لا يظلمه ولا يخذله ولا يحقره. A Muslim does not do these three things to the next Muslim. Number one, لا يظلمه. It is not befitting of a Muslim for this person to oppress the next Muslim. In other words, it is not the status of a Muslim to oppress the next Muslim. وَلَا يَخْذُلُهُ. And a Muslim does not trick or fool the next Muslim. وَلَا يَحْقِرُهُ. And neither does a Muslim disrespect or put the next Muslim down. التقوى ها هنا التقوى ها هنا التقوى ها هنا. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, taqwa is here, taqwa is here, taqwa is here. Where? وَأَشَارَ إِلَى صَدْرِهِ. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam pointed towards his heart and said, taqwa is here. Awareness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is here. God consciousness is here. Being aware of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during midday and also in the darkness of the night is here. It's found in the heart. وعن عبد الله بن مسعود عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. فقال رجل إن الرجل يحب أن يكون ثوبه حسنا ونعله حسنة. قال إن الله جميل يحب الجمال الكبر بطر الحق وغمط الناس. رواه مسلم الترمذي. It is narrated by Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhu that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. That person who has the smallest amount of pride in one's heart will not be able to enter Jannah, will not be able to enter paradise. Part of good character is not being prideful. Develop humility. Don't think that you are better than the next person. No one here, including myself, can claim that we are better than the next person. Why? Because Allah says, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. Verily, the most beloved to you, the most, inna akramakum, the best amongst you. Inda Allah, according to Allah, atqaakum, the one with the most taqwa. And only Allah knows how much taqwa you have, how much taqwa I have. So since only Allah knows how much taqwa we possess in our lives, in our hearts, and only Allah knows how much we have, therefore it is not correct for you or I to judge the next person and say, this person is better than this person, that person is better than that person, etc. Don't develop pride. Let me show you guys something. Some little show and tell for you guys. Pass these down. These are mustard seeds I bought just for this purpose. Don't open them, but see how small they are. You see how small they are? Pass them down. I want everyone to get a visual on how small these mustard seeds are. I'm going to see. Take like 2 of these bags to the sister side. And those bags will come around. They'll continue. Take both of these to the sister side. You have one too. Both of them to the sister side. Let the sister see it as well. So, my students, these are called mustard seeds. See how small they are. It comes in a hadith, a person who has this much pride in their heart will not enter Jannah. even this much pride, like equivalent to one grain, like one mustard seed. Even if you have the equivalent of one mustard seed of pride in your heart, you will not be able to enter Jannah. Never allow to develop pride in your heart. فقال رجل, that a Sahabi mentioned when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, لا يدخل الجنة من كان في قلبه مثقال ذرة في قلبه مثقال ذرة من كبر. That a person that has even the smallest amount of pride will not enter Jannah. After Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said this, a Sahabi said, إن الرجل يحب أن يكون ثوبه حسنا ونعله حسنة. O Rasulullah, a person likes that they're wearing nice clothes and they're wearing nice shoes. What do you have to say about that? قال إن الله جميل يحب الجمال. Verily Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is beautiful and He loves beauty. So, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses us with wealth, with the means to wear nice things. We should do so. But then why you do it matters. Okay? So if your intention is simply to وَأَمَّا بِنِعْمَةِ رَبِّكَ فَحَدِّثْ, under that meaning, if you're wearing such clothing or wearing such things out of appreciation for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then mashallah. But if my intention is to make the next person feel down or to put the next person down, then that is unacceptable. Right? So what is pride? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Al-Kibru. What is pride? Batarul haq wa ghamtun nas. What is pride? Pride is to turn away from the truth. Pride is to turn away from the truth. Wa ghamtun nas, and to put people down. So, I'll give an example. Let's say I make a mistake and someone says, oh, so and so, you made this mistake. Then what I'm expected to do is accept my mistake. And here's one problem that exists. That all of us, or a lot of people get upset when someone who's younger than them tells them they're wrong. Again, someone who's younger than you comes up to you and says you are wrong in this manner, like regarding this, in this matter, all of a sudden, too boring. Who in the Jahannam are you to tell me I'm wrong? Right? That's pride. If someone corrects you, even if they're younger than you, so what? If they're younger than you, if they're right, they're right. Yeah. We have to mention this as well. Is there's a way to address someone who's older than you if they're making a mistake. Use wisdom. So if somebody is making a mistake, you don't go up to that person and shame this person publicly. You're standing a quarter mile away and be like, you don't do that. There's a way to correct people's mistakes. You have to be sincere in doing so. You can't be Tom and Jerry trying to get each other back. Oh, so like you can't take it personal. And for example, oh, this person always tells me this, so here's my chance to get back at this person. Oh, I'm gonna go buck wild against this guy because Mr. or Mrs. Right is constantly grilling people. And no, be sincere. Ask yourself why you're doing this, right? Ask yourself why you're doing this, and use wisdom. Don't publicly shame the person. That's you when you're correcting someone. But then, since, believe it or not, there are people that you will always come across that are better than you. Okay? That's always like this. If somebody comes up to you and they are correcting your mistake, don't be upset. Don't be prideful. Don't belittle them or take it personally and shame them publicly. That who in the Jahannam are you? Right? Like one of the lines, it's like, oh, I remember when you were born and you were your children. Like, that had nothing to do with anything. So, batarul haq, to reject the truth, to turn away from the truth. This is one part of the definition of pride. وَغَضْتُ النَّاسِ. What is pride? To look down upon people. To believe you are better than the next person. For whatever reason. If you believe you're better than someone because of the country your parents came from, or whichever ethnicity you belong to, or the language you speak, or which zat you belong to, right? It's a bunch of baloney. Understand? I don't know if I told you guys this before, but I've lived with different people in my life. I've picked up their languages, and I'll tell you, based on my experience in life, is that every ethnicity thinks they're the best, and everybody else sucks. I'm telling you based on my experience. Everybody thinks they're the best. And this is what I found with different, all across the board. So to believe you're better than the next person because of the country or ethnicity you belong to, or your parents belong to, etc., that's not, that's baloney. Unfortunately, there's a lot of pride when it comes to these things. A lot of people have this pride that, oh, we are these people, so this makes us better than such people. Like, come on, man. You did not fill up any kind of paperwork to say, I want to be born in this city. I didn't have a choice where I was born. No one had a choice where they were born. No one chose how we're looking like today. I had no say of how to look like. Allah's like, here you go, alright, this is the way I am. Accept it. So what is pride? To reject the truth. Number two, to look down upon people. to think you're better than the next person. I'll end this one little incident. Is this one student, he saw like a farmer coming from far away. And this student asked his teacher, he said to his teacher, "Oh, my teacher, I learned this, I learned that, I know how to do this, I know how to do that." And he counted all of the different sciences this young person learned. So this student asks his teacher, "I see this farmer walking with his mule back into town. I know for a fact this person does not know a fraction of the things that I know. Does that make me better than this person?" So the teacher responded, "You are allowed to say that you know more than that person, but you're not allowed to say you are better than that person. What guarantee you have that just because you have more knowledge, you are better than the next person? If you know something that the next person does not know, in that specific matter, you're more knowledgeable, but you're not better." Understand? And this one challenge that a lot of parents are facing is just because they're not up to, just because a lot of parents are not up to par with technology and using phones and computers and all, youth just begin to undermine them. No, that's incorrect. Just because you know how to use an iPad better than your parents does not make you better than them. Just because you're better in computers or these different things, like computers and Xbox and PS4s and phones and iOS, Android, just because you're better in these things than your parents does not mean you're better than them. Yes, you happen to know how to use those items better than them, but that does not mean that you're better than them. This was the last class of this series, and there's no class tomorrow, meaning there's no 4 o'clock class tomorrow. Understand? So tomorrow, there's no 4 o'clock class. We will have a class at 5:15 till Maghrib, etc. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi, subhanakallah wa bihamdik, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta,